I think it very much comes down to the specific place that the housing is to be provided in, and I think there's obviously a big problem around lack of housing, and I think, like you've mentioned yourself, there is a big problem around low quality housing, and that's not just a problem in Nigeria, it's also a problem in the UK and a lot of Western countries that are kind of building poor quality generic housing. And I think probably the big thing is to lean into the local supply chain, the local materials, the local labour force, and really focusing on what is the traditional typologies, what are the traditional ways of building housing, and using that as a basis to understand how you can then think forward and create a contemporary, sustainable, environmentally focused product that can be built cheaply. And I think that's a problem that has to be looked at on a case-by-case basis depending on the site and the location. There's lots of things that have been quite positive about the UK housing market, and I think some of the big lessons that we've learned, I think especially from a lot of the housing in the 50s and 60s, is social diversity is really important in projects. And actually when you're creating a housing development, it's important that there's a range of house types that you're housing the elderly, students, low-income families, and higher value units as well that kind of support higher earners. And I think having that level of inclusivity in a project and having a kind of vibrant mix of community needs to start from the types of housing that you're building in one location, and making sure that those are built in a way that creates a real sense of place. So the place that you're building has a sense of community, but also as you move across streets you understand where you are. Everything doesn't look the same. There's a range of ideas, a range of materials, and you kind of create places that have meaning.
Trade agreements, trade partnership that relate to housing and construction.
Yeah, I mean,
some development.
I think Yeah, absolutely. I think from just speaking from an architectural and design side, I'm sure Phil can speak more to the kind of wider early stages of the project from multiple consultants' point of view. But from our side, on all of our projects we're working internationally, we love to work with local partners, so local architects, local engineers. They understand the materials, the supply chain, the building codes, the building legislation, the process of gaining approvals. And so it's really important that we listen very closely to the local government partners and local private partners and sort of take those lessons. And then I think we're just bringing some of our insight in terms of new technologies, sustainable building practices. And so it's that collaboration of local knowledge and forward-thinking design that kind of creates, I think, the most sort of fruitful project.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.